It's me, SimiGamer2018, and today we got another CreepyPasta reading video. But this isn't one I'm watching, I'm actually reading it. Not sure how long this one is, but this one's called Laser Tag. Not sure what's so creepy about that, but this is a random CreepyPasta I went by, so we're gonna read it. An old online friend of mine and I got talking a little while ago, and the subject of his old website came up. It went by CreepyPatoys, and it ran from 2007 to 2009, letting users submit stories and pictures of, well, really creepy kid stuff. I was a moderator on the message board, which was pretty big, which it was its biggest focus. Traffic, like my friend's interest, tapered off, and he moved on, but not before backing up the thousands of posts on his computer. This was an old and crappy freeware forum software, and users' posts were only recorded by IP address, so all names in regards to their posts have been lost, other than ours. He sent me a copy of the backups, and I'm going through them, as much as it strains my eyes after a while. It's database source anyway. Only. One story in particular that I remember stood out for a reason I will explain at the end. The original poster evidently got hold of someone's personal writing, or had simply forwarded them to another source. Without going into further detail, here's the post, all cleaned up. My therapist asked me to start writing a journal, or maybe a recollection of past events, whatever I thought was best. A few years ago, I thought that maybe, just maybe, I would have thought that writing down my feelings and thoughts was pointless, as to be seeing a therapist in the first place. I thought I got a handle on things on my own, doing the macho act for not asking the outside help. I guess things changed when I saw an old friend a month ago, and every explanation and excuse I come up with, and made my friend's personality and reality was thrown out the window. There was a sense of negation when I left the friend's house. But when it came to dreaded truth, I never told this story to anyone outside of my childhood friends, and even through my accounts to the local police, who had me repeat it over and over. But one of us was actually there when it happened, the only one who really saw it. I never really liked talking about myself, but Dr. Straw said that doing it so would be cathartic. A release I would have to for any change and further progress. Before I started my sessions, I would have never bothered. It was only recently that I put things together and accepted the facts of that day. It was 15 years ago, the late summer of 1998. I had just graduated middle school, and I was glad to get out of that school, as a few of my other friends. We didn't go all to the same school and were in the same grade, but we all lived in the same neighborhood, which was a good thing. It was an enough place, not too far from one of the water's ports and harbors in Pensacola, Florida, a city tucked away in the northwest of the state, right by Alabama and Georgia borders. I have not read this long time. As you might imagine, the summer was hot and muggy, and the town didn't have too much attractions for kids. So we spent a lot of our time playing video games or doing outside to do something to do. Or look for something to do. Often inventing sports or stupid British games. You mean British or something? I don't know. We were a group of 6 boys when we all got together. Our parents all knew, for the most part, that we got along pretty well over the years. We all grown up within a mile of one another. I don't have much to say about them, because we all broken apart over the years, and I don't know where we all ended up. But I know we've dealt with what happened. The last thing I want to do is have a story somehow go public or get some big like that. And when the reporter goes out tracking us down and open up old wounds that some of us might have healed by now. Anyway, here are their first names and descriptions of their personalities. First, there's me, Justin. You'll find out enough about me through the story, so I won't bother sharing anything about myself else. And then there was Brian, who was the only black kid in the group. He was always mellow, just kind of followed us around whenever we ever had hesitations. I didn't know his parents well, but we must have raised him pretty proper. They must have raised him pretty proper. A few times we went out to we went out to be little teenagers. He would always have only watch us. What does that mean? Never knocking over garbage cans or vandalizing or anything. That was never my idea. But then there was boredom that was strictly externalized from Devin. You mean Kevin? He looked like a bully, but he was never actually mean to anyone, as bossy as he could be. He was the biggest of the group, but not terribly overweight. He had ADHD growing up because he always kept getting in trouble, often us dragging us right down with him. And then there's Gilbert. And I think that was his name, and yes, I caught a flack of it. He was the nerdy one, the only kid with glasses. He was smart, but often technical for his age. It was a miracle he never got soaked by any of this after he finished listening to one of our conversations and interjecting some facts, with an intake of mucus followed by a raising index finger and an annoyingly actually. But again, he was smart and creative, so we could make up good jokes to fly around because of it. Then we have the Fitzgerald twins, Peter and Nick. Not interesting names, but at least their parents decided to not be buttholes and give them something cute like Bobby and Robbie. They looked only a little alike, and Peter was always going about an inch taller than his brother. They both had dirty blonde hair and matching blue eyes, but that's where the similarities ended. Peter was energetic and into sports, but was a little bit of a loudmouth. Nick was pretty quiet. He was never seemed to be good at anything we tried other than video games. He could collect our collective butts in any of the games. Okay, I'm going to end part 1 here, because I don't want to run out of storage anytime soon. So I hope you all enjoyed the video, and we'll keep going next time. Bye.